In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, the Obama administration on the ropes with the far left who are calling for Robert Gibbs' head. Charlie Rangel's big 80th birthday party bash muted by corruption charges. But first, reaction to the Ben Quayle interview and the ad calling President Obama the worst president ever. Joining me now are Fox News contributors Tammy Bruce and Leslie Marshall. Tammy, let me begin right here and say, you know what? Okay, here's a conservative Republican, his dad's Dan Quayle, calling this president the worst president ever. Well, you know what? Okay, so he's playing to the base.
Sure.
Is that the way you take it?
Well, he got some very bad advice, I think. The ad itself is odd. That message is funny because pretty much everybody already knows. This is a message that seems to be playing to what he thinks the Tea Party or the strong independent framework is thinking. Because I think his name does have some baggage.
Will it work for Republicans?
I don't think so, because he comes off as Mr. Rogers trying to be Eminem. I mean,
let me go to Leslie. Leslie,
it's bad news.
Leslie, will it work from a Democrat's point of view? Do you think, hey, we can't do anything, Obama's numbers are down, now they're calling him the worst president ever?
No, because I called George W. Bush the worst president ever, and he still was reelected, Juan. No, every president that's sitting there when the other side is unhappy is called the worst. So, no, I don't think it's effective. And as a matter of fact, I think it shows his youth and his lack of experience.
All right, Leslie, let me stay with you on the scandal part of that interview that I did with Ben Quayle. The allegation is that he was involved with this kind of raunchy, scurrilous website that shows kind of, you know, hot women looking for the hottest chick in Scottsdale in the nightclub scene. He says, yeah, he might have posted a few comments. He might have introduced the founder to a lawyer, but he really isn't one of the founders, and it's just a scurrilous attack on him trying to slander his campaign. How do you see it?
Well, if it walks like a duck and it has, well, no, I think, honestly, as a woman, I think some of the remarks that he has not denied that he posted, even here with you, are sexist. And when this guy's pointing fingers at our president talking about the future, that's not the kind of future I want. And I don't think the constituents looking at this guy, leading them politically or otherwise, I think it's unwise. And I'm very surprised he did that and then said, hey, I'm going to run.
Well, Tammy, you're a Republican again. Is this going to cause you concern?
I'm an independent, but I'm a feminist. And I'll tell you something. Quayle's name is his worst problem, and that he's a reflection of the past. I think that he's showing a behavior that Americans are rejecting. We're tired of politicians who present one thing and act in another way.
So you think he was involved with the website then?
Well, I think that if he's not denying that he put some comments up, et cetera. Look, I mean, people are... people can have a variety of different approaches. The problem is if then you aren't exactly forthcoming about it in public, and that's what Americans are tired of.
And those people don't want to be spun, they want the straight.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, whatever it is, just be honest with us.
Leslie, let me go back to you now about what's going on with Robert Gibbs, the White House spokesman. You see people saying, I thought Alan Grayson, the congressman from Florida, is pretty amazing. He said, we call him Bozo the spokesman, and he said we think he has to look up to see his shoes. That's how bad he is. And Keith Ellison, the congressman from Minnesota, says maybe he should resign simply because he said, you know what, it's the professional left that's so down on President Obama and hurting the president. So do you agree that Robert Gibbs should resign?
I'm not sure that this is an offense where he should resign, to be honest, and I am a liberal Democrat. What I don't think that he has done that is good for the party or at this time with an election in November is further divide some areas where there is division when looking at the president. And I also think in his position, he didn't make his boss look good because it makes the administration look like we can't handle comments even when it comes from within our own party. As a Democrat, I will give it to a Republican when they do something great, and I will also chide a Democrat when they've done something wrong. And that's what I think we need the freedom to do in our parties, because that's what the polls show Americans sick of, just towing the partisan party line, even if we don't agree with it.
Yeah, but wait a second, Leslie. You see Republicans holding tight and it's strong, almost as a unified bloc to try to obstruct and block what President Obama is trying to do. But you're saying on the left, you're not expecting the same kind of behavior. You're free to criticize the president even if it drags down his numbers.
No, because no, what we need is a little more honesty and a little more overlap, I think, in this country, and a little more unity and less division. And we don't need more division in the party. And I think that Gibbs' comments and not taking responsibility for them. I mean, he said, I stand by them. To me, that's not taking responsibility for the irresponsibility of them. So, no, if you're misunderstanding, I'm not saying that, you know, Democrats need to just be this, Republicans need to be that. What I'm saying is that he further divided an area where Democrats have some differences of opinion.
All right, that's fair. So, but Tammy, let me come back to you on something else that's impacting the Democrats in this campaign season, which is Charlie Rangel last night has a big fundraiser birthday bash in New York. You get Andrew Cuomo, the candidate for governor. You get Charles Schumer, the senator. They all show up. Although
Bloomberg.
most Bloomberg, the mayor, showed up.
Patterson was there.
But most of the Democratic House delegation from New York did not show up. Only 6, I think, of the 27. What does that tell you?
Well, it's a shame. He's well liked by them. He's been in there 40 years, and you know, division, by the way, in the Democratic Party might even save it if normal people can start being heard. Bottom line is, Charlie Rangel should be upset because he's part of a cadre that generally does what he's been doing for 40 years. It's shocking that he's under such fire, and I think he should defend himself and expose the Democrats for what they are.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
So you think this will play in Republican circles and hurt Democrats?
Well, Republicans are all, look, Congress is at 11% approval rating. Everybody's in trouble, and I think it's an exposure of everyone in Congress, all politicians. Rangel is liked, and it's like all of them.
I don't think Nancy Pelosi agrees with you. She's worried that it's going to hurt Democrats
She's facilitated this, and she's part of the problem.
Ladies, thank you very much for